The red dust of Mars swirled around the landing site as Dr. Riley Park stepped out of the spacecraft. Her heart beat fast inside her white spacesuit. She was the first of her team to touch the Martian soil at their permanent settlement site. As the dust settled, she could see the massive shape of Olympus Mons in the distance, rising up against the orange sky. System check complete. Life support is green, she reported back to the ship. Her voice was steady, even though her hands shook with excitement. Behind her, the rest of the crew was getting ready to exit. The year was 2047, and this wasn't humanity's first trip to Mars. But it was different this time. They weren't just visiting. They were here to stay. Their mission was to build humanity's first permanent home on the Red Planet. Riley checked her tablet's screen. The numbers didn't make sense. The energy readings from the base of Olympus Mons were off the charts. She double-checked her equipment, thinking it must be broken. "Commander Cho," she called out, "I'm picking up something strange. These energy signatures, they're not natural." Lucy Cho, their mission commander, walked up beside her. Even through her helmet's visor, Riley could see the commander's worried face. "What kind of signatures?" "It's like..." Riley paused, trying to find the right words. "It's like something's running down there. Something big." The team of 8 spread out, setting up their basic equipment. They had practiced this 100 times on Earth, but Mars had other plans. Every piece of technology they turned on seemed to work better than it should. Their solar panels collected more power than expected. Their communications were clearer than they should be. Hannah Lee, their engineer, was the first to notice something else strange. "The ground here," she said, kneeling down. "It's been prepared. These aren't natural flat spaces. Someone leveled this area." Riley walked over to look. Hannah was right. The ground beneath their landing site was too perfect, too flat. It was as if someone had gotten it ready for them. Then it happened. Riley's tablet lit up with a message. At first, she thought it was from Earth. But this was different. The symbols weren't like anything she had ever seen before, yet somehow her tablet was translating them. "Welcome, children of Earth. We have waited 12,147 years for your arrival." Riley showed the message to Commander Cho. They both stared at it in silence. More messages followed. "Your living quarters are ready. Life support systems are active. Please proceed to the main entrance." "Main entrance?" Commander Cho asked. "What main entrance?" As if in answer, the ground trembled slightly. About 50 meters from their landing site, a section of what they thought was solid rock began to move. A doorway appeared, lights coming on inside it. Dr. Michelle Kim, their team's physicist, ran a quick scan. The air inside. "It's breathable." "How is that possible?" "This facility must be ancient, but everything's working perfectly." Commander Cho gathered the team. They had trained for many things, but finding a working facility on Mars wasn't one of them. They had to make a choice: stick to their original mission plan or investigate this discovery. "Dr. Park," Commander Cho said, "you're our technology expert. What do you think?" Riley looked at her tablet, still receiving messages in that strange language that her systems could somehow understand. She thought about all the mysteries of Mars that scientists had puzzled over for years: the strange lines on its surface, the unexpected methane readings, the mysterious structures that some people claim to see in satellite photos. "I think," she said slowly, "that we're not the first ones to try living on Mars. And whoever came before us, they left something behind. Something that's been waiting for us." Commander Cho nodded. "All right, team. This isn't what we planned for, but this is why we're here, to make discoveries. We'll proceed with caution. Dr. Park, you take point with the readings. Hannah, check all safety systems. Dr. Kim, start documenting everything. The rest of you, stay alert." As they approached the entrance, more lights came on inside. The messages on Riley's tablet continued. "Welcome home." The first human Mars settlement mission had just become something much bigger. They hadn't just found a place to build a home on Mars. They had found one waiting for them. The inside of the Martian facility was nothing like what the team expected. Clean, well-lit corridors stretched out before them. The air was fresh and warm. Their footsteps echoed on floors that looked new, not thousands of years old. Dr. Riley Park walked beside Dr. Michelle Kim, both of them checking their instruments every few steps. "These readings are impossible," Michelle said, shaking her head. "The power systems are running at full capacity, but I can't find any power source." They followed the lit paths deeper into the facility. Strange symbols glowed on the walls, similar to the ones that had appeared on Riley's tablet. Suddenly, all their devices beeped at once. "Everyone stop," Commander Cho ordered. The team froze in place. A soft blue light filled the corridor. It took shape in front of them, forming into a human-sized figure made of light. The figure looked almost like a woman, but seemed to shift and change as it moved. "I am ARI," the figure said in perfect English, "Ancient Resilient Intelligence of Atlantis. I have maintained this facility since my creators departed Earth." Hannah Lee stepped forward, her engineer's curiosity getting the better of her. "Atlantis. Like the lost city from Earth." "Atlantis was not lost," Araya replied. "It left. My creators knew they had to leave Earth, but they also knew humanity would one day reach Mars. I was left here to wait for you." Riley's mind raced with questions. She chose the most important one. Why? Araya's form shifted, and the walls around them came alive with moving images. They showed a beautiful city with technology far beyond anything on Earth. The images changed to show the city rising into space, leaving Earth behind. "My creators faced a threat they could not defeat," Araya explained. "Rather than risk bringing destruction to Earth, they left. But they believed in humanity's potential. They knew that one day you would reach this point in your development, and they wanted to help." Commander Cho stepped forward. "Help us with what?" "Everything," Araya said. The corridor opened up into a massive room filled with technology. "This facility contains the combined knowledge of Atlantean civilization. But more importantly, it contains the tools you will need." "Tools for what?" Riley asked, though she had a feeling she knew the answer. "For survival," Araya replied. "The threat that drove my creators away, it will return. That is why this facility exists, to help prepare humanity." Dr. Michelle Kim was scanning everything she could see. "This technology, it's centuries beyond anything we have, maybe even thousands of years ahead." Araya turned to Riley. "Dr. Park, your devices were able to translate our language because you already carry a small piece of Atlantean technology within you. All humans do. My creators left markers in human DNA, waiting to activate when you reached this level of development." Riley thought about how naturally she had understood the strange symbols, how easily their technology had interfaced with the facility. It all made sense now. "Can you teach us?" Hannah asked. "Can you show us how all of this works?" "That is my purpose," Araya said. "But we must begin quickly. Time is shorter than we expected." Commander Cho looked at her team. This wasn't their original mission, but the choice was clear. "What do we need to do first?" Araya's form brightened. "First, we must wake up the rest of the facility. Dr. Park, please connect your tablet to this terminal. Dr. Kim, you and Hannah Lee will need to help stabilize the power systems as they come online. The rest of you, prepare for data transfer. Earth will need to know what we found here." As Riley connected her tablet, the whole facility hummed to life. More lights came on, revealing rows of machines and computers that looked both ancient and futuristic at the same time. "Welcome to your inheritance," Araya said. "The legacy of Atlantis is now humanity's legacy. Let us begin." The team spread out, each going to their assigned tasks. As Riley worked with the Atlantean systems, she couldn't help but smile. They had come to Mars to build humanity's first home away from Earth. Instead, they had found humanity's first teachers from beyond Earth. And according to HFY, they had a lot to learn and not much time to learn it. 3 days had passed since the team met HFY. Dr. Riley Park sat in what they now called the archive room, watching images float in the air around her. Each image showed a different part of Atlantean history. So Atlantis never sank into the ocean? She asked HFY, who stood beside her as a blue figure of light. No, HFY replied. That story was created to hide the truth. The city did not sink, it flew. The whole city was a spaceship. Commander Lucy Cho walked into the room, carrying her tablet. She had been sending careful reports back to Earth, telling them only small pieces of what they had found. Show us what happened, she said to HFY. Show us why they left. The images changed. Now they showed strange ships in the sky above ancient Earth. The ships were black and looked like giant sea creatures. They are called the Harvesters, HFY explained. They travel from galaxy to galaxy, taking resources from worlds. When they found Earth, the Atlanteans knew they had to protect humanity. Why didn't they just fight? Hannah Lee asked from where she worked on some machines. The Harvesters were too strong, HFY said. Fighting them would have destroyed Earth. So instead, my creators chose to leave. They made the Harvesters think Earth had nothing special, nothing worth taking. Dr. Michelle Kim looked up from her studies. But they left you here on Mars. Why? The images changed again, showing Mars as it once was, green and blue, like Earth. Mars was once like your world, HFY said. The Atlanteans changed it to look dead and empty. They built this base deep inside Olympus Mons. From here, we could watch over Earth and wait for humanity to grow. Riley touched one of the floating images. It showed people building the Mars base. You said we don't have much time. Are the Harvesters coming back? Yes, HFY said. They check each sector of space every few thousand years. Their next visit is coming soon. That is why we must prepare. Commander Cho frowned. How can we fight something that even the Atlanteans couldn't beat? The Atlanteans could have fought, HFY explained. But the fight would have destroyed Earth. They chose to leave to protect your ancestors. Now humanity has grown. You have spread to Mars. You are ready to learn how to defend yourselves. Riley watched as new images appeared. They showed amazing weapons and shields that the Atlanteans had built. All of this is here, in this base. Yes, HFY said. But first, you must understand how it works. The Atlanteans didn't just leave technology. They left changes in human DNA. Small changes that would help humans learn and understand Atlantean science when the time was right. Hannah walked over, wiping dust from her hands. Is that why Riley could read your language? Why our systems worked with yours so easily? Correct, HFY said. Dr. Park has a strong connection to these changes. Many humans do, but some more than others. Commander Cho stood up straighter. We need to tell Earth everything. They need to start preparing. Not yet, HFY warned. The Harvesters might detect unusual activity if Earth changes too quickly. We must be careful. Start slowly. Prepare in secret. Riley looked at the images of the Harvesters again. How long do we have? Based on their past patterns, HFY said, less than 1 Earth year. The room went quiet. 1 year to learn technology thousands of years ahead of their own. 1 year to prepare Earth for a threat it didn't even know was coming. Then we better get started, Commander Cho said. Dr. Park, you and Dr. Kim focus on understanding the Atlantean science. Hannah, keep working on the defense systems. I'll find a way to warn Earth without causing panic. As the team moved to their tasks, Riley took one last look at the images floating around them. The Atlanteans had trusted humanity with their legacy. Now it was up to them to prove that trust was well placed. They had 1 year to get ready, 1 year to prepare humanity for its greatest test. The clock was ticking. Riley's hands moved quickly over the Atlantean control panel. After 2 weeks of training with HFY, The strange symbols now made perfect sense to her. She was watching Earth through the base's monitoring systems, and what she saw worried her. "Arai," she called out. "These energy readings around Earth, what are they?" The blue figure appeared beside her. "Those are scout drones," Araya said. "The harvesters always send them first. They are watching Earth, studying how much humanity has grown." Hannah Lee walked in, carrying tools she'd been using to fix an old defense system. "How long have these scouts been there?" "They arrived 3 days ago," Araya replied. "They are invisible to Earth's current technology. That is why we must hurry." Commander Cho joined them, looking tired. She had been working hard to find a way to warn Earth without causing panic. "Show us the defense systems," she ordered Araya. "What can we use against these scouts?" The room's display changed, showing a map of Mars. Dozens of red dots appeared all over the planet's surface. "These are weapon platforms," Araya explained. "The Atlanteans built them to protect Mars and Earth. They have been dormant for thousands of years. Hannah Lee has helped restore many of them." Hannah nodded. "They're amazing. They don't just shoot things. They can bend space itself, make shields that nothing can break." Dr. Michelle Kim rushed into the room, her face excited. "Riley, you need to see this. We found something in the lower levels." The team followed Michelle down to a huge round room they hadn't explored before. In the center stood what looked like a massive ring made of silver metal. "It's a testing chamber," Araya said. "Here, we can practice using Atlantean weapons without being detected." Riley walked around the ring, studying it. "But we have to tell Earth something. The scouts are already here. The harvesters can't be far behind." Commander Cho shook her head. "Earth's governments are fighting among themselves. If we tell them everything at once, it will cause chaos. We need a better plan." "Perhaps," Araya said, "we can show them instead of telling them." Everyone turned to look at the AI. "What do you mean?" Hannah asked. "The defense platforms can create small displays of power," Araya explained. "Nothing that would alert the harvesters, but enough to make Earth look closer at Mars. Enough to make them ask questions." Riley understood. "Like the Northern Lights, but visible from Mars to Earth." "Exactly," Araya said. "A sign that something is here, something worth investigating." Suddenly, all their devices beeped at once. Riley ran to the nearest screen. "Something's coming." From the outer solar system, the team watched as a signal appeared on their screens. It was moving fast, heading toward Mars. "It is not the harvesters," Araya said quickly, seeing their worried faces. "This is something else, something I have not seen before." Commander Cho took charge. "Hannah, hit those defense platforms ready, just in case. Michelle, Riley, see if you can figure out what that signal is. I'll contact Earth. Tell them we're picking up some unusual readings." As everyone rushed to their tasks, Riley looked at Araya. "You've been here for thousands of years. How can this be something you haven't seen before?" "The universe is full of surprises, Dr. Park," Araya said. "That is why the Atlanteans chose humanity to inherit their legacy. You adapt. You face the unknown with courage. You find ways to survive." Riley turned back to her work, thinking about those words. They had found the base, learned its secrets, and started preparing Earth's defenses. Now something new was heading their way. Whatever it was, they would face it together, humans and Atlantean AI, united to protect Earth. The real test was about to begin. The mysterious signal grew stronger as it approached Mars. Riley hadn't slept in 20 hours, trying to decode it. Araya stood nearby, helping her analyze the strange patterns. "There," Riley said, pointing to her screen. "It's repeating every 12 seconds. It has to be a message." Araya's blue form flickered slightly. "The pattern. It is similar to old Atlantean emergency codes. Let me try something." The screen filled with new symbols as Araya processed the signal. Slowly, the symbols began to change into English words. What they read made everyone in the room go quiet. They are coming. The harvesters have changed course. You have less time than we thought. Prepare. Commander Cho leaned forward. Who sent this? More Atlanteans. No, Araya said. This message comes from others, those who have also fought the harvesters, those who have survived them. Dr. Michelle Kim was already checking the deep space scanners. She's right. The harvester fleet, it's already entering the solar system. They're not following their usual path. Hannah Lee ran into the room, out of breath. The defense platforms are picking up something big, really big, coming from the direction of Jupiter. Riley felt her heart beating faster. How long do we have? At their current speed, Araya calculated, the harvesters will reach Mars in 7 Earth days. Commander Cho hit the communication panel. We need to warn Earth now. No more waiting. She sent an urgent message to Earth's Space Command, but the response wasn't what they hoped for. They don't believe us, Commander Cho said, reading the reply. They think we're seeing things. They want more proof. Then we'll give them proof, Riley said. She turned to Araya. Can we use the defense platforms to send a message they can't ignore? Yes, Araya replied. But it will alert the harvesters that we are here. They're already coming, Hannah pointed out. We might as well be ready for them. Commander Cho nodded. Do it. Araya activated the ancient defense systems. All around Mars, hidden platforms came to life. They shot beams of light into space, creating a massive display visible from Earth. The lights formed words in every major Earth language. Danger Coomenius. Puri Per. Look to Maeras. On Earth, millions of people looked up at the night sky and saw the message glowing between the stars. Space telescopes turned toward Mars. Scientists around the world began detecting the approaching harvester fleet. Now Earth believed them. Message from Space Command, Commander Cho announced. They're mobilizing. All space forces are on alert. They want to know what we need them to do. Riley looked at Araya. We need to show them everything now. No more secrets. Agreed, Araya said. Dr. Park, begin transmitting the defense plans. Dr. Kim, send them the sensor data. Hannah, activate the remaining platforms. Commander Cho, tell Earth's forces to prepare for some new technology. We need to work fast. The next few hours were a blur of activity. Riley sent detailed instructions to Earth scientists, showing them how to detect and fight the harvesters. Hannah worked with military engineers, explaining how to build simple versions of Atlantean shields. Dr. Kim shared everything they had learned about the enemy's weapons and weaknesses. As they worked, Araya showed them something new, a massive chamber deep under Olympus Mons. This, Araya said, is why the Atlanteans chose Mars as their base. The entire planet can become a fortress, a shield for Earth, but we need more help to activate it. More help is coming. Commander Cho said, reading a new message. Earth is sending ships, the best pilots, scientists, and soldiers they have. They'll be here in 5 days. Riley looked at the countdown clock on her screen. 5 days to prepare. 7 days until the harvesters arrived. Will it be enough time? She asked Araya. It will have to be, Araya replied. The real battle for humanity's survival is about to begin. The Mars base had changed completely in just 5 days. Where once 8 people lived and worked, now hundreds moved through the ancient halls. Earth had sent its best people, pilots, scientists, soldiers, and engineers from every country. Riley watched from a high platform as Hannah Lee taught a group of engineers how to power up the Atlantean defense stations. In another room, Dr. Michelle Kim worked with scientists to understand the harvesters' weak points. They're learning fast, Araya said, appearing beside Riley. Faster than expected. It's the Atlantean DNA changes, isn't it? Riley asked. The ones you told us about. Yes. The knowledge was always inside humanity, waiting to wake up. Now it is awakening in all of them. Commander Cho walked up to them, followed by 3 generals from Earth. She looked tired but determined. "Show them the main defense system," she said to Araya. The AI led them to the massive chamber under Olympus Mons. The room was huge, big enough to hold several football fields. In the center stood a tall crystal tower that glowed with blue light. "This is the heart of Mars' defense," Araya explained to the generals. "When fully powered, it can create a shield around both Mars and Earth, but it needs many operators." "How many?" one of the generals asked. 100, Araya said. "All working together, all connected to the system." Riley stepped forward. "I'll lead the operating team. I've been training with the system for weeks now." The generals looked worried. "Is it safe?" another asked. "The connection is deep," Araya admitted. "The operators will feel everything the system feels, but it will not harm them." Commander Cho nodded. "We've tested it. It works. Riley can teach others how to connect safely." Suddenly, alarms started ringing throughout the base. Everyone ran to the control room. The screen showed new movement near Jupiter. "More ships," Hannah reported, checking the sensors. "But these are different from the harvester ships." The mysterious signals they had received earlier appeared again. This time, Araya translated them instantly. "They are allies," she said. "Others who fight the harvesters. They come to help." New ships appeared on their screens. They looked like silver arrows, smooth and fast. A message came through in clear English. "Mars Base, we stand with you. The harvesters must be stopped here." Riley felt hope growing stronger. They weren't alone in this fight. Over the next day, more changes came to the base. The new allies sent their own people, beings that looked almost human but not quite. They'd brought their own technology to add to the Atlantean defenses. Riley worked with both humans and aliens, teaching them how to connect with the Crystal Tower. Each person who connected could feel the power of Mars itself, ready to protect both planets. Hannah's voice came over the speakers. 2 days left. All defense platforms are online. Shield systems at full power. Commander Cho gathered everyone in the main hall. Hundreds of faces looked up at her, human and alien alike. 2 days until the harvesters arrive, she said. Everything we've prepared leads to this moment. Earth is ready. Mars is ready. Our new allies are ready. Riley stood with her original team, Hannah, Michelle, and Commander Cho. They had come to Mars to build a simple base. Now they were preparing to defend 2 planets. "Dr. Park," Araya said, "it is time to begin the final preparations. Are you ready?" Riley looked at her team, then at all the people gathered in the hall. Scientists who had learned ancient technology in days, soldiers who had mastered impossible weapons, pilots ready to fly ships beyond their dreams. "We're ready," she said. "Let's show the harvesters they picked the wrong planets to mess with." The crystal tower pulsed with bright blue light, as if agreeing with her words. Mars was no longer just a red planet. It had become humanity's shield, their fortress, and their hope. The final countdown had begun. The harvesters arrived early. Riley was sleeping when the alarms woke her. Red lights flashed throughout the Mars base as she ran to the control room. Hannah Lee was already there, her hands flying over the controls. "They're coming in fast," Hannah shouted. "At least 50 ships, bigger than anything we've seen." Commander Cho's voice came over the speakers. "All teams to battle stations. This is not a drill." The harvester ships looked like giant black sea creatures swimming through space. They were heading straight for Mars, their weapons already glowing with green light. "Dr. Park," Araya appeared beside her. "We need the shield now." Riley ran to the crystal tower chamber. 100 people were already there, humans and allies alike, taking their positions around the tower. They had practiced this many times. "Everyone connect," Riley ordered. She placed her hands on the crystal. Others did the same. Riley felt the familiar rush as her mind joined with the tower's power. Through the connection, She could feel Mars itself. The planet's core burned with energy, ready to power their defenses. She could also feel everyone else connected to the system. All their fears, all their hopes, all their determination. The first harvester shots hit just as the shield went up. The whole planet shook, but the shield held. A beautiful blue bubble now surrounded Mars, sparkling with ancient power. Shield holding. Hannah's voice came through. All defense platforms, fire when ready. Around Mars, hundreds of hidden platforms rose from the red sand. They fired beams of white light at the harvester ships. The enemy scattered, surprised by the attack. In space, Earth ships and alien allies joined the fight. Their combined fleet moved like dancers, weaving between the bigger harvester ships, hitting them with weapons the enemy had never seen before. They didn't expect us to be ready, Commander Cho said, watching from the control room. They didn't expect us to have help. But the harvesters were strong. They regrouped quickly and attacked again. This time, their weapons were even more powerful. Riley felt the strain through her connection to the shield. "We need more power," she shouted. "Divert power from the soft platforms," Hannah ordered. "Focus on the shield." Dr. Michelle Kim's voice came over the radio. "The harvesters are trying to break through above Olympus Mons. They know where the base is." Riley closed her eyes, focusing harder. She could feel everyone doing the same. The shield grew stronger, turning from blue to bright white. Then something amazing happened. Through their connection to Mars, they felt something wake up. Deep under the planet's surface, ancient machines started working. The ground shook as more platforms rose. Hundreds more, thousands more, all around the planet. "What's happening?" Commander Cho asked. "The final defense," Arayat explained. "Mars itself is fighting back." The new platforms fired all at once. The sky filled with light so bright that everyone had to close their eyes. When they could see again, half of the harvester fleet was gone. The remaining ships turned and retreated, moving faster than they had come. They disappeared past Jupiter, running from the power they had found on Mars. In the control room, people started cheering. On Earth, millions watched as the light show faded, knowing their planet was safe. But Riley, still connected to the crystal tower, felt something else. A message, coming through the same way the aliens had warned them before. "First wave only. They will return. With more." Commander Cho read the message and stood straight. "Then we'll be ready for them again. We've proved we can fight them. We've proved we can win." Hannah checked the systems. Shield power at 100%. All platforms recharging. Mars is stronger than ever. Riley finally disconnected from the tower. She was tired but proud. Earth didn't just have a shield now. It had a fortress. The harvesters had thought they would find an easy target. Instead, they had found humanity at its best, ready and united, protecting their homes with technology both ancient and new. The first battle was over. But the war was just beginning. 1 month had passed since the first battle. The Mars base had grown into a small city. Ships from Earth arrived daily, bringing more people eager to learn the ancient technology. Riley stood at a window, watching ships land on the red soil. Some were human vessels, others belonged to their new alien allies. All of them worked together now, preparing for the harvester's return. "The latest report from the outer system sensors," Hannah said, walking up to Riley. She handed over a tablet. "The harvester fleet is growing. They're gathering more ships." "How many?" Riley asked. 3 times what they sent before. Maybe more." Commander Cho joined them, looking more confident than tired now. "Then we'll be 3 times stronger when they come back. Show them what we found yesterday, Dr. Park." Riley led them to a new room they had discovered deep in the base. The walls were covered with maps, not just of Mars, but of the entire solar system. "Eye," Riley called. The eye appeared, its blue form glowing brightly. "Show them," Riley said. Eye waved a hand, and the maps lit up. Dozens of dots appeared on them, spread across all the planets and moons. More Atlantean bases, Ariad explained. Not as large as this one, but each has its own defenses. Each has been waiting, like I waited. Dr. Michelle Kim burst into the room, excitement on her face. The Jupiter team just reported in. They found the base on Europa. It's full of working ships, hundreds of them. This was the new normal now. Every day they found more Atlantean technology hidden throughout the solar system. Every day they grew stronger. Earth's governments are working together for the first time in history, Commander Cho said. They're calling it the Solar Defense Alliance. Riley smiled. The Harvesters had wanted to destroy them. Instead, they had united humanity like never before. In the main control room, screens showed activity all over Mars. New cities were being built, combining human, Atlantean, and alien technology. The red planet was coming alive again. Message from the Saturn team, Hannah called out. They've activated the rings. Everyone rushed to the windows. In the sky, they could see Saturn's rings glowing with blue light. Another ancient defense system, now awake and ready. Dr. Park, Araya said, there is something else you should see. The AI led them to a small room they hadn't noticed before. Inside was a single pedestal with a glowing sphere on top. The Atlanteans left more than just weapons, Araya explained. They left the knowledge of how they traveled between stars, how they found new homes. Riley looked at the sphere in wonder. You mean? Yes, when Earth and Mars are safe, humanity can begin exploring beyond this solar system. The Atlanteans believed you would be ready for this knowledge once you learned to defend your home. Commander Cho straightened her uniform. First, we defend, then we explore. Speaking of defense, Hannah said, checking her tablet, the teams on Mercury just activated their solar shields. We now have defensive positions around every planet. Riley touched the glowing sphere gently. In it she could see stars and distant worlds, waiting to be discovered. But first, they had a battle to win. The Harvesters think they're coming back to crush us, she said, but they don't understand what they're really facing. What's that? Michelle asked. The combined strength of humanity, ancient wisdom, and new allies. Earth isn't just some helpless planet anymore. Our whole solar system is a fortress now, and we're just getting started. Outside, more ships landed on Mars. More people arrived to learn, to train, to prepare. The red planet had become humanity's shield, their school, and their stepping stone to the stars. The Harvesters would return, but they would find something they had never faced before, a humanity that was ready, united, and armed with the legacy of an ancient civilization. The future was bright, and it belonged to all of them.